I'm very excited to share with you some divrei Torah for the Chag Sukkos from Rabbi Yaakov on the Dal of Minim and on the Sukkah. So let's begin. The Torah tells us, "Ulakachtem lechem b'yem harishoin pri eitz hader kapos tamarim v'anaf eitz avos v'arvei nochal usmachtem lefnei Hashem lekechem shavos yom." The question is that this is not the first day of the month. The Torah is telling us you should take on the first day. What do you mean the first day? It's already the 15th day of Tishrei. So why does the Torah refer to it as Yom HaRishon? So the Medrash tells us, is it Sunday that you're calling it Rishon? Or Rishon l'Chodesh, or is it the first day of the month? The Kaira is a Rishon. Why? El Rishon lecheshbon avonos hu. It is the first day to make a cheshbon for your averis. Coming after Yom Kippur, we had a kapara. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur that season. We're beginning the new season to make a cheshbon avonos. So Rabbi Yaakov says, well, we're not looking to make a cheshbon for avonos, but the Torah is telling us, I want to give you a way how to protect yourself from averis, a shmira. What can we do to safeguard ourselves, to keep the kedusha that we have attained on Yom Kippur? So it gives us advice. It says, take 4 items, and each of these items represents a different part of an avodah, a different aspect of our life, which we need to be shomer, which we need to safeguard, which we need to watch diligently in order to keep our kedusha and our tahara. The first one is the pre-eitz hadar. So Rabbi Yaakov says that the Zayar here in Chela Gimel discusses the pre-eitz hadar. And he says that it's telling us here that the pre-eitz hadar represents or corresponds the bris kodesh, the aver which is known as the bris, which needs to be safeguarded. And to this says Rabbi Yaakov, being that it's first, means that the shmiras habris is paramount to the kedusha of a yid. Funny, the Torah doesn't say esrog, just take an esrog. It refers to the esrog as a pre-eitz hadar. And in each of these words, Rabbi Yaakov shows us a remez. Pre, it's referred to a fruit, which sounds like or reminds us of the mitzvah of Peru Uravu, Periya Verivya, which has to do with the aver, the limb of the bris. Eitz says that if you guard this esrog, if you know how to properly safeguard, then that's referring to a person, the eitz asad, the whole person. It brings kedusha to the whole person. And hadar, we need to take extra stringencies. We need to be extra careful. We got to be mahudar, so careful with this first a shmira that the Torah is telling us. The first thing you got to make sure you're safeguarding is the bris. He says the word esrog equals 609 plus 2. Twice for the koil gives you the word bris. We move on to the lulav. The lulav, which is called in the Torah kapos tamarim, which is a palm of a date tree. So he says refers to the heart or the thoughts of a person. Lulav is loy leiv. To him, a person has to be in control. He has to have his heart. To him, loy leiv. Kapos tamarim. You see, kapos tamarim, the lulav, is a bunch of leaves. Sansine de tamra. Rabim. The lulav has a bunch of leaves that cover one another, and one goes over the other. And that reminds us of the thoughts of a person. A person, we have thoughts about everything in the world we're thinking about. Rabbis machshavos belev ish. And what we need to do is kapos. Kafiso is a lashon of bind. We have to bind or tie together or focus our thoughts towards Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Leile, the lulav is someone who has possession. He's in control of his thoughts, and he's able to bind his thoughts to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, to avodah, to tefillah, to Torah, to be similar to a tzaddik. That's what a tzaddik has the ability to do. A tzaddik katamer yifrach. A tzaddik who is similar to a tamar, who is compared to this a tamer, to compare to a lulav, someone who's totally focused in his avodas Hashem. So after a person is shemer his bris, he moves on to his thoughts, and he gains control of his thoughts, of his heart. He has a lulav. We move on to the hadas. The hadas is referred to anaf eitz avos. And here says Rabbi Yaakov, the hadas is a reference to our eyelids, our eyes and our eyelids. Anafim, if you know the little leaves of a hadas are similar to that of, they look like an eye. They're in the same shape as an eye, and specifically it says the anafim, the anaf eitz avos. The leaves are things that cover over the branch, and those are similar to our eyelids. Anafim are like our eyelids. And here says Rabbi Yaakov that our third level of shmira is on our eyes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us eyelids. He gave us anaf, he gave us givinim, he gave us eyelids to be able to close our eyes in order not to see things that we shouldn't be looking at, to see people or be jealous of others. When we see things that we covet that we're looking to have, close your eyes. Make it like anafim, make it like a hadas. The anaf, each of these words describing the hadas, each has a remez to an eye, says Rabbi Yaakov. Anaf itself equals 200, and that's the gematria of einechem, your eyes. 8, the gematria is 160, also the gematria of einecha, your eyes. Avos, if you rearrange those letters, it's bas ayin. Bas ayin is your pupil. So there's a remez in each of these words to the eyes, giving us a warning or a chizuk to be shomer areinayim, to watch what we see, to be careful what we gaze at. We all know that it's the einayim ra'os v'halev chomed. The eye see and then the heart desires. But it says Rabbi Yaakov that there's a special segula in the hadas, in the eyes. The letters of Hashem's name, Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey, Ekya, equals 160, a remez to the 8s. And Havaya, Behaka, Haka is a certain type of a gematria where you multiply the letters to against each other. So if you take the Shem Havaya, Yud and Hey, that's 10 and 5, gives you 50, and then you do Hey times Yud, gives you another 50, that's 100, and then the Vav and the Hey, Vav and Hey is 30, and then again, Hey and a Vav, it gives you 30, that's altogether 160. A remez that it needs a lot of shmir. They now need shmir, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you his Shem Hashem, gives you 2 shemas of Hashem in the 8s, in the anaf 8s avos, to add protection to our eyes. Finally, we get to the arava. The arvei nachal. The arava is similar to that of the branches of the leaves of the arava look like lips. They're daimelis fasayim. Now, someone who speaks without talking, he just keeps talking without any filter, without stopping. So he's like a nahar. He's like a river that just flows, like a arvei nachal. More so, his words become meaningless. Someone who just rambles and talks a lot. So he's like the arava that doesn't have tam and doesn't have any reach, no taste or smell. Arvei nachal is the gematria 370, the same as Ze Nachash, the serpent back in Gan Eden, who didn't watch what he said. He got us in trouble. The Nachash is the symbol of Lashon Hara. Arvei nachal is symbolized by Zeh Nachash is 370. So what do we have to do with this Arvei Nachal? The Arvei Nachal, if a person gains control, he grabs hold of Lakachdam Lachem. B'yem Harishon, he grabs control. He grabs hold of his lips. So then he's able to turn his Arvei Nachal, adding 8 for the letters and 2 for the 2 words. Arvei Nachal gives you 386, which is the same gematria of Safa, including the Kailol, including the word itself, which is 386, which is lip, and gives you, eventually you're able to keep the Shechina with you. You get Shechina, which is 385 plus 1, 386. That's what you get. We should be zeicha as we grab hold of our dalir minim, feel the remez of the esog being to the bris, and the kapis tamarim, the lulav, to grabbing hold of our thoughts, and hadas, our eyes, and arava, our lips, grabbing hold of these and being zeicha be'ezras Hashem to having the Shechina dwell with us. On the Yom Tov of Sukkos, we'll tell you one thing about the Sukkah itself. Be'inyan the Sukkah, the beautiful Remez that Rabbi Yakob teaches us. The Torah says, "Basukkos teishu shivas yamim, kol ha'ezrach v'Yisrael yeshu basukkos, l'man yedu derisechem, in order that your generation should know, ki basukkos hashafti es b'nei Yisrael." And we all know that the word, if you see the bolded letters here, basukkos, and basukkos, there's one isn't the same. The first two are spelled chaser without a vav. The last one is spelled with a vav. Says Rabbi Yaakov here, we have a remez to the three Batei Migdash. We had two already so far, and they were chaser. The third one, Be'ezras Hashem, will not be chaser. But what's missing in the first two? What's missing is the letter vav. So Rabbi Yaakov says that the Eitz HaChaim is called the letter vav. The sheirish of in the Sefer Sifsei, I saw he explains that the Eitz HaChaim is actually the sheirish of the Eitz HaChaim is in the upper world called Bina. The trunk, which is similar to that of a vav, is corresponds to the midah of Tiferes, and the fruit of the Eitz HaChaim is our neshamas. Our neshamas are the fruit of that Eitz HaChaim. You see, the trees in the upper world are upside down. Our trees are rooted in the ground, and they give off fruit, and they grow out. So if you flip over that tree, so the roots are in Shemayim, and the fruit are hanging down here in our world. We are the fruit of the Eitz HaChaim. So that Eitz HaChaim is called Vav. It was missing in the first two Batei Migdash. We didn't have the Eitz HaChaim. And that's why they were chassid, that's why they were missing. And Be'ezras Hashem, in the Bayis HaShlishi, Sheyibana b'meher v'yomenu, we will have Basukkos, l'manei derisechem ki Basukkos hashafti es b'nei Yisrael. That final Sukkah will have a Vav. We will have the Eitz HaChaim in there, and that will remain forever Be'ezras Hashem. As we learn the Torah of the Eitz HaChaim, and the Torah of Mashiach, we should be zeichet to fill our life with Chaim. We should be zeichet for a year filled with Chaim, with goodness and Chaim Tov Maruchim. Have a wonderful Yom Tov.